All right, so this is a great question here. It was a post off Facebook, and this great comment and this great question of what's your strategy for instructing people to clear debt while staying in an abundance energy? So I'm going to give a couple personal development mindset level type answers. I'm going to give you a couple financial answers that will make sense and give you some direction on what to do here. So on the mindset side, maintaining a level of abundance, we need to make sure a couple key things are in place. We need to make sure that any blocks, as they're sometimes called, I like the word more of what Dr. Sue Morter talks about as a gap, not so much a block, where if we're not experiencing abundance in the way that we want, we need to make sure that we are energetically aligned with the frequency of abundance. And that means that we have neutralized any of what we call interference at a subconscious level that's running anything counter to us experiencing more abundance in our lives, right? So that is the first step, is to make sure that we are working on the negative energy, the negative thought patterns, these subconscious blocks, as you want to call them, that are limiting our ability to experience abundance on a vibrational, manifesting level. Like, that is just totally key. We have to make sure that we're always working on ourselves, doing the inner work, growing, and identifying the spots where we can take this to the body, find in our body where we are not in alignment with abundance. When we think about the things that we want to be going for, you will feel a lump in your throat. You will feel tightness in your stomach. You will feel something there, and you need to breathe through that, and a lot of other strategies that go beyond that to actually, at an energetic level, the wave pattern of the block and the wave pattern that neutralizes that need to run, and it updates the subconscious so that you no longer have that lack of abundance running in your life. So that's first key. Second key on the inner work side is making sure that we are focusing on abundance. We are focusing on where we want to go, what we want to create in our life from a positive standpoint. We don't want to be looking at where we're going and be focusing on debt and the weight of the debt and the stress from the debt and the frustration from the debt and the feeling of lack of control from the debt, right? We have to make sure that our subconscious is focused on a positive feeling around the freeness and the control and the freedom that comes from paying off debt, not on the negative aspects that come with debt. And by making that shift, by writing down our goals, making sure that our intention is focused on the right thing. And like I've already mentioned in the step one, removing that interference that would be keeping us from experiencing the level of abundance we want goes hand in hand with the second point of making sure where we're focused, writing goals down with white paper, blue pen. That does the best thing for the mind. And doing that on a regular basis just cements it in energetically. There's just so much data about if you write your goals down, you have such a larger increased chance of manifesting those goals just by the act of writing, and what it does for brain activity and the neurocircuitry in your brain to produce the subconscious thoughts and the vibration that's sending out from your brain to bring in the people, circumstances, and events that will make more abundance show up in your life and change the experience that you're living. So that's on the mindset side, the inner work side. Now, a couple financial principles and frameworks I want you to think about when it comes to paying off debt. So the question with debt is always, okay, if I'm going to be paying off debt, which means I'm going to be allocating more cash flow or maybe lump sums to pay off debt, there's always the question of, could I be earning more interest than I'm saving by paying it off early or paying it off faster, right? So if I have $20,000 lump sum and I say, maybe I could dump this on a credit card or on an auto loan or something like that and get rid of the interest. The question is, can I go somewhere and earn 10% and save 5% on my auto loan? Like, that's what's called arbitrage in the financial world. It's no different than going to Sam's and buying a 48 pack of bottled water, and it comes out to 50 cents a bottle, and I can go to a football game, any high school football game on Friday night, and resell those water bottles for $2.50. That profit is called arbitrage. So we can be doing that, thinking of our money in our life as an asset that can be earning us interest, and we can be profiting from that if we know where to go make more than we're going to be saving. So mathematically, there's always what we call an interest cost or an opportunity cost to our money. And we want to think from that lens of a capitalist, where we view our money not just as what pays our bills, but as an asset that can either expand and grow us towards wealth, or it can still be doing beneficial things by paying off debt. But we want to make sure that we're in alignment with the best way to go about paying off debt. So if we have high levels of responsibility and we are very disciplined with our money, strategy like what I'm explaining might make sense for you. Now, if you're still learning those skill sets and developing them and getting those habits ingrained in your own, day-to-day life, you might just be better served paying off the debt, getting that monkey off your back, continue to do inner work as you pay off the debt. And then later on, think about, okay, maybe I need to shift now that I'm ready towards the capitalist mentality of putting money to work and being able to profit from this, method of paying off debt in an expansive way because I'm increasing my means. I'm growing my money to pay off debt instead of what feels kind of like a scrimp or a shrinking because I'm taking cash flow. I'd rather go to other things just to pay off this debt, right? So that right there can be the shift between feeling abundant around paying off debt and feel like you're, still poverty level paying off debt or stuck on the financial hamster wheel type emotions, right? So that is a key thing. And, just mathematically, if we have a credit card that's 29.99%, we only know where we can go earn 10% in an account. Mathematically, it makes more sense to allocate more resources to paying down the, the credit card at the high interest rate versus trying to grow it at a less interest rate, right? Like, because we're losing money in that transaction, right? We're losing all, 19.99% in that transaction. And it's not quite that because you have an increasing amount of anything that's growing. And if you're paying down debt, it's a decreasing amount, but let's just not get too complicated with that, right? So those are really the key differences. We just need to make sure it mathematically makes sense. It aligns with who you are, the way you can function, setting yourself up for success to be able to pay off debt. There's other methods that other gurus will talk about. One of my mentors here, Killing Sacred Cows in this book, Garrett Gunderson, phenomenal book, phenomenal thought leader in the financial space. You can do things like if you have an asset that's already paid for, such as an automobile, cars free and clear, and you have some debt, you could actually do a refinancing of that car. You're getting a much lower interest rate. That type of loan boosts your credit score, and you can go over and pay off higher interest rate debt. And that whole thing can be a win-win scenario if that applies. And we've done similar strategies like that. So those are my best tips, my best thoughts. Let me know what you think here. If there's any further information you have on this, feel free to comment below and make sure you subscribe to the content here on this platform. And we'll catch up with you guys next time. Take care.